Breaking news, President Trump's former lawyer entering a guilty plea in court, what he's admitted to lying about, and the other big development from the Oval Office this afternoon.
And Paul Manafort is back in the headlines, this time because special counsel Robert Mueller alleges that Manafort has been lying to federal agents since September.
And the weather outside is frightful, but here in the UC, it's so delightful. Stay tuned and find out if you need to say, let it snow, let it snow. Point News starts now.
Live from the Point Park University Broadcast Center in downtown Pittsburgh, this is Point News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Point News. I'm Nicole Paxinos.
And I'm Delaney Bomas. We're kicking things off with breaking news as President Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen has just pleaded guilty to some pretty serious charges.
Here's what we know so far. Michael Cohen is admitted to lying to Congress about the Russian investigation, specifically admitting that he said things that weren't true, which weren't true about what was called the Moscow Project, the Trump organization's effort to pursue a property in Moscow. The guilty plea comes from a part of Robert Mueller's investigation into alleged collusion between the 2016 Trump campaign and Russia. Meanwhile, in another major development, President Trump abruptly canceled his meeting with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, just 2 days before the two were scheduled to sit down at the G20 summit. President Trump said he canceled the meetings because of Russia's refusal to release Ukrainian Navy ships and sailors seized during a confrontation at sea between the two countries this past weekend. Michael Cohen's guilty plea this morning comes after the newest allegations involving Paul Manafort. Manafort, as we know, faces eight counts, including a guilty plea to counts of conspiracy. Point News reporter Claire Costello has been tracking Manafort's newest controversy. Claire?
Former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort has been making headlines again this week after attorney Robert Mueller noted that Manafort has been violating his plea to cooperate with investigators. Just 2 months ago, Manafort agreed to cooperate with special counsel after reaching an agreement to cooperate as a part of a plea deal. Manafort joined President Trump's campaign team back in March of 2016 and was Trump's campaign chairman until August of 2016, after he was convicted of counts of tax and bank fraud and failure to report foreign bank accounts. Manafort was also engaged in lobbying efforts of pro-Russia parties in 2015 and failed to report illicitly earned money to the IRS. In September of 2015, Manafort pleaded guilty to counts of conspiracy and agreed to cooperate with special counsel investigation led by Mueller. Mueller reported this week that Manafort had been lying to investigators, which violates his plea deal. It was also reported that Manafort's attorneys have been regularly briefing Trump's team on the workings of the special counsel. President Trump has previously tweeted his views on the situation and said in a statement this week referring to the accusations, quote, "He happens to be a very good person, and I think it's very sad what they've done to Paul Manafort," end quote. There have also been several claims that Manafort chose to cooperate with Mueller's team in hopes of a lighter sentence. This week, Mueller announced he believes Manafort should face up to 10 years in prison. Trump also made a claim that while he never discussed pardoning Manafort, he said he wouldn't take it off the table. I'll send it back to you guys over at the desk.
Former Pennsylvania Attorney General Kathleen Kane is behind bars this afternoon. Kane reported to the Montgomery County Jail this morning. She's set to serve 10 to 23 months in prison for perjury, obstruction, and other counts. She was found guilty of leaking secret grand jury material to a newspaper.
Now, I think today is probably the first day in the last week that we haven't seen snow, which I'm okay with.
Right, but those cold temperatures are still too frigid for me. What do we expect for the rest of the day, Sarah?
Yeah, unfortunately, Delaney, those cold temperatures are here to stay for a little bit, at least today. Today we have a high of 37 and a low of 34 with a 25% chance of precipitation. So the snow's gone. Snow will be out of here all weekend, but those frigid temperatures are unfortunately here to stay. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sarah. Coming up after the break, find out about some small local businesses and how Small Business Saturday helps them out.
And find out what you can learn to help save a life. You also don't want to miss this weekend's forecast coming up.
Go. Go to our new website, uview.pointpark.edu. Go, 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 go.
Join UView and find your herd.
Join EOP. And 3, 2, 1. Join EOP.
I was just saying, grab them now, or else I will step on.
Yeah.
Join On Point with Politics.
3, 2, 1.
Join Pioneer Sideline.
Loneliest number that you'll ever do.
Welcome back to Point News. Food insecurity is one of the biggest issues that college students face.
That's right, Nicole. Point News reporter Taylor Fife went to CMU for an event they held to help fight hunger.
I am here at Carnegie Mellon University's campus, where just below me, over 100 people have showed up to pack boxes in order to combat hunger. CMU welcomed students, faculty, and community members to their annual Rise Against Hunger meal packaging event, where they aim to pack 200,000 boxes.
What's more beyond the 200,000 meals is what it's going to provide. Hope, empowerment, nourishment for countries overseas. Let them have an opportunity that we take almost for granted here.
CMU's different student organizations, including the Office of Student Leadership Involvement and Civic Engagement, Partners Allied in Civic Engagement, and Alpha Phi Omega, partnered with the nonprofit organization Rise Against Hunger.
We're working to raise awareness about civic engagement and hunger around the world, and so this opportunity is both educational and a way for students to give back. So they're learning about the issue, but they're also doing something about it.
According to Rise Against Hunger, the organization seeks to provide nourishment for those in need today, while implementing sustainable solutions to hunger for tomorrow. Solutions that will lift entire communities for years to come.
I mean, I like doing this. I think it gives me satisfaction that I can help someone without necessarily being in front of them. Like, I don't have to see the immediate reaction, but I know something's going to come out of this for them.
Rise Against Hunger reports that 815 million people around the world do not have enough food to lead a healthy lifestyle. Knowing this fact, CMU's different student organizations and community members worked together as fast as they could to fill bags and package boxes full of dried foods.
Inside the boxes are meals that are dehydrated vegetables, rice, and soy proteins, and then a micronutrient packet, which was actually developed by Kraft Heinz and goes into each one of the packages.
The Kraft Heinz Foundation also partnered with Rise Against Hunger and brought along their mascots to hype up the diverse crowd.
Yeah, there are bags flying in the air. It's been really cool. For my first experience here to having this happen, it's been a really great experience. It's been a lot of fun. And you also learn a lot too. I love that there's kids here participating because we're kind of getting that education about what hunger is and why it's important to help each other out.
With help from volunteers, meal packaging events like this, and financial assistance, the organization believes they can end hunger by 2030. I'm Taylor Fife reporting from Carnegie Mellon University for Point News.
The holiday seasons can cause a lot of stress, and as we know, stress can be hurtful, especially to those with heart conditions.
Our very own Delaney Bomis found all the information you need to know about CPR training.
Some are a little bit different. Some are all one, some are different. You just want to plug it in. White to white, red to red. And so, this is now going to say, analyzing rhythm, please do not touch the patient. At that point, it's your job to
It's rolling. So we're going to go ahead and toss it over to Sarah for the weather for the weekend. I mean, I have to tell you, this whole last week has just been absolutely like crazy with the snow and the ice.
The cold weathers, cancellations, maybe cancellations.
I mean, Sarah, what can we expect for this weekend?
Yeah, I'm happy to say that cold weather is going away just for a little bit, but that also means instead of snow, we're getting rain. So Friday we can expect, tomorrow we can expect a high of 45 and a low of 42 with a 56% chance of precipitation. So hit or miss with the rain there. But Saturday you're gonna wanna stay inside with that 81% chance of precipitation. So it's gonna rain with the high temperatures in the 50s. We can expect some rain, but Sunday, take advantage of Sunday. It's gonna be a high of 60 degrees and with just a slight chance of precipitation. So that's the last day before the cold weather comes. Take your dog for a walk, enjoy the fresh air. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up after the break is the weekend day that many look forward to the day after Black Friday shopping.
Stay tuned to learn all about this Saturday that most local store owners look forward to every year when Point News returns.
What's one word to describe CAB?
Welcoming.
Community.
Creative.
Experiences.
Family. Openness.
Pineapple.
The Campus Activities Board is a student-run organization that consists of 7 different committees. Each focuses on event planning, marketing, and administrative activities. Join us in organizing the juiciest events on campus, from late-night bingo to festive dances to our team bonding meetings. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Point Park Cap, or like us on Facebook at Campus Activities Board at Point Park University.
Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. I'm Josh Troop alongside Jess Paterchak.
Defending his decision to kick out 15 Cuban diplomats from the United States.
Thanks, Allison. Fitness on Demand has returned to Point Park.
Residents fear that Mount Agung will have a repeat of 1963's eruption.
2-star NFL quarterbacks made the headlines this week after wrapping up.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's your news tonight. For Nick Tomarello, I'm Alex Grubbs. Have a great night.
Welcome back to Point News. Well, millions of shoppers hit the big box stores for Black Friday deals this past weekend. A record number of shoppers turned out for Small Business Saturday to support the locally owned businesses as well.
Point News reporter Alex Linigan has the story.
Established by American Express in 2010, Small Business Saturday occurs every year on the Saturday following Thanksgiving. According to the Small Business Development Center, there are over 100,000 small businesses in Allegheny County alone, many of which have been thriving here in Pittsburgh, thanks to those who choose to skip the big box stores and shop small.
We say shopping small makes a big impact. And it really does. You know, those are the businesses that are supporting your kids' softball teams, and they're going to be the ones supporting the musical at the high school. And you know, those are the local jobs. These are your neighbors where they work, and you know, so we want to support those, and we want to see what kind of big impact we can have from putting that money locally.
One of the most well-known concentrated areas of small businesses in Pittsburgh is just north of downtown in the Strip District. Here, specialty stores like Presto George Coffee and Tea and Roxanne's Dried Flower Shop benefit from the additional consumers that Small Business Saturday attracts each year.
You know, the Strip is full of, I'm in the Pittsburgh Strip District, I don't know if you guys know that, but it's full of small businesses, and they're all family-run businesses, and every single one specializes in something. You know, we specialize in coffee and tea. Wooly specializes in fish. Penn Mac specializes in cheese and in Italian products, and we all have our specialty, and they're just great places to shop. So that's what, you know, Small Business Saturday is all about. It's about supporting your local family-run businesses, and I think it's it's just a fantastic idea.
It allows the community to come out and support smaller establishments, and we actually, because of the Pittsburgh community, we've been here for over 23 years.
While Small Business Saturday is still a relatively new event, it has maintained a high level of success over its 8-year history. According to the 2018 Small Business Saturday Consumer Insights Survey, shoppers continue to come out in record numbers. This year was especially profitable, as an estimated 104 million consumers spent $17.8 billion at small businesses in just one day.
We've had reports of more than 25% increase in revenues on that day. So we know it is a day, and the more that we can get that out, especially through social media, and get people thinking about that, people want to support their local businesses. Taking the advice of our great legend in Pittsburgh, Mr. Rogers, it's a great time for you to go out and meet some of the people and the businesses in your neighborhood.
Now, Small Business Saturday is just beginning to pick up. Just within the last 3 years, I've noticed it really, people are starting to realize what it is, and they're actually shopping on those days. Yeah, they're coming out and supporting. And I think it's only going to get stronger and stronger. And it's very important to businesses because it helps support us throughout those slow times during the year, the Februarys and the Augusts when it's slow. So it's an important time of year for us, and it is extremely busy.
Whether you're shopping for fresh fish and produce at Woolies, dried and preserved flowers at Roxanne's, or coffees from around the world at Presto George, the Strip District offers some of the most recognizable and beloved small businesses in Pittsburgh. This is why supporting these establishments through events like Small Business Saturday is one small thing we can do to help in a big way. Reporting from Pittsburgh's Strip District, I'm Alex Lenigan for Point News.
And coming up after the break, we're going to go into detail on some of our favorite local businesses for Small Business Saturday. Point News will come back.
The United Student Government at Point Park University, working since the 1970s to solve the issues that matter to you. What concerns do you have about the university? Student life, safety, food service? Send us an email to studentconcerns@pointpark.edu or stop by our office on the 7th floor of the Student Center. You can also attend our weekly open meetings on Mondays at 3:15. Follow us on social media at USG_PPU for more. The United Student Government, by the students, for the students.
The Point Park Sports Network, bringing you live coverage of Pioneer Athletics on Stretch Internet, the home of the River States Conference and the NAIA. Subscribe today for complete access to the Point Park volleyball, baseball, basketball, and soccer teams. Watch live and on-demand broadcasts, and don't miss a minute of Point Park Athletics. Head to pointparksports.com/live for broadcast listings. The Point Park Sports Network, your streaming home for Point Park Athletics.
3, 2, 1.
Please visit our website. Please, it's a nice website. Please visit our website. Please.
If you have ever watched television, whether accidentally or on purpose, YouView is for you.
Welcome back to Point News. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Small Business Saturday, which was this past Saturday. Now, I have to say the Strip District was nuts, and my favorite little coffee shop, La Prima, shout out to them. Love them so much. What are your guys' favorite small businesses?
I mean, I love La Prima. I do. I've been there a few times, and I think it's great that these businesses are getting so much recognition now. I think it's a good thing. It's a really wonderful thing.
I think that they're all playing into this, and they're all doing really well promotional-wise, and I know my favorite is Dave DiCello's photography gallery. He does so many good promotions, and he gives away huge prints for less than 80% off. The deals are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, we saw in Alex Packages that the rise in small businesses is going up across the nation, but here in Pittsburgh, my favorite's the Steel City clothing store. I mean, I love buying clothes from there because it's from here, it's from Pittsburgh, and even with the tragedy at the Tree of Life Synagogue shooting, they made shirts to sell to people to raise money. So these local businesses are great here in Pittsburgh.
Perfect. They are. Yes. So we'll see you guys right back here next week on Point News at 2 p.m. Have a great week, everyone.